يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار
المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار القهار الوهاب الرزاق الفتاح العليم
القابض الباسط الخافض الرافع المعز المذل السميع البصير الحكم العدل اللطيف الخبير الحليم العظيم الغفور الشكور
العلي الكبير الحفيظ المقيم الحسيب الجليل الكريم الرقيب المجيب الواسع
الحكيم الودود المجيد الباعث الشهيد الحق الوكيل القوي المتين الولي الحميد
المحصي المبدع المعيد المحيي المميت الحي القيوم
الواجد الماجد الواحد الصمد القادر المقتدر المقدم المؤخر الأول الآخر الظاهر الباطن الوالي المتعالي البر التواب المنتكم العفو الرؤوف مالك الملك ذو الجلال والإكرام
المقسط الجامع الغني المغني المانع الضار النافع النور الهادي البديع الباقي
الوارث الرشيد الصبور الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير اللهم صل أفضل الصلاة على أسعد المخلوقات كسيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم عدد معلوماتك ومداد كلماتك كلما ذكرك الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكره الغافلون.
ما شاء الله تبارك الله. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All our beautiful souls and our mothers and our fathers and our ancestors and the Ummah at large on this, the 2nd of Dhul Qa'dah 1446, Dhul Hijjah, 1446, corresponding with the 30th of May 2025, the last lap of this great race that we were currently engaged in since 1441. Allahu Akbar wa lillahi alhamd. The numbers that you are living your life with is what is the actual reason why you are not aligned. Okay, most of you follow numbers that were spelt by Saint Gregorian. Okay, a pope, some king that came and gave you a calendar, a lifestyle, to start from A and to end at Z. And that has gone on into many civilizations over many times, and that has caused us to lose connection and network with our inner being, with our inner self, with our higher dimensions of reciprocating data and intelligence. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. The human species is one that is very vulnerable to stagnation as well as to resisting change. So in life, dear mothers and fathers, great mothers and fathers, and when the person looks old outside, it's actually young inside. That's the natural order because it is an opposite reflection. Outside is not real, inside is real. Okay, must remember that as you grow older. Okay, those people who by now think that mashallah tabarakallah they look young, they get old very fast. In fact, it takes quick, then they're down, then they're buried again. Okay, because they lie to themselves. They live a life that is against their nature. It is forging something to impress, to make people see something which is not right. It's not real. Okay, it doesn't resonate with your true essence. Okay, um, we cannot pass judgment over anybody, people. You can only pass judgment over yourself. So you can, for your well, imagine like why is it that you want to look young? For who? For what? To impress who? To tell who you are beautiful? To say who you have gone against nature? You have challenged nature and you beat nature because nature was weaker than you. Nature, nobody can overpower nature. You can lie to your own nature. You can forge a synthetic nature. But until you submit to your nature, will you know what is your true identity? Because your identity comes from your nature. We are in the second of Dhul Hijjah, 1446 Hijri. All nature's mechanisms, all nature's defense mechanisms, okay, she is intertwined with your own nature. Your forefathers of this land, the Algene tribe that hails from this quarters of the globe, they were fully in tune with their nature. They knew their nature. And because they knew their nature, nature guided them. Okay? Their nature was guided by their mother's nature and the human nature and the globe's nature and the refined nature was what culminated their identity. That is why they could be friendly to the natural order of the diets. Okay, for them it was not an issue to eat something which came from nature, like to eat poor cheese. No issue. Okay, pains, no issue. They were naturally adaptable. Okay, that gives us as a soul tribe the understanding how to tap into the wisdom which was planted in the nature of the bloodlines and the chromosomes um, and the bloodlines, of the tribe that our mothers comes from, people. You know, most of you have, most of us has been molested when it came to our surnames. Okay, we have been given false surnames because we took surnames that we don't know where the hell that surnames comes from. That is how the Jacobites, the Jacobites, the Dark Age before 2019. Okay, that is how it impacted on your ecosystem, your ego system and your ecosystem. Your ego system is your physical system, who you are, what is your title, what you drive, where you live, what clothes you wear. That's all That's just how it goes in the Yakubites age. That's the dark age, okay? Because you are still caught up in the physical realm, and instead of having to have come in when the lights went off, when the sun went down, okay? Ons ma's het altyd gesê, moenie te veel wegspeel van die huis af nie, because as dit Maghrib is, dan gaan dit donker wees om terug huis toe te kom. Okay? What they were telling you as if you are from the ancestors, or if you are from the true bloodline, guys, if you are from the soul tribes that came before you are in your physical realm, you are already understanding who is the Ahlul Bayt. You know from which family you hail. You know in which chapter of the Kitab is your trial, and what is the book, your book of life that you have to read. How do you uncover it? And that can only be done when it is said, لَقَدْ رَجَعْنَا مِنَ الْجِهَادِ الْأَصْغَرِ إِلَى الْجِهَادِ الْأَكْبَرِ. All of you today, okay? You came out of a physical ambush, okay, for the last 100 years, okay? First, say 50 years. Let's not be exaggerating. 50 years you get to be outside in the physical ego system, okay? And then 50 years, God is fair, Allah is fair, you must come internal, okay? Internal means that the real jihad that you need to get under control, the real flames, the fire, the hell, the imbalances, okay, the hijrah, okay, the transformations, it can only be tuned from the inside, okay. Your failure to come in, it has one of two phenomena. Either God chucked you out, or secondly is you challenged your ancestors, okay, one of the two, okay. Most of the time is that you were busy with the wrong God, because you have an expiry date on your validity, how long you can stay outside. Hoe lank kan sy buitekant speel in die donkerte, okay? Sy kan speel buitekant solank die son nog nie gesak het, you guys. I'm speaking to you esoterically, metaphorically, okay? It's unfortunate that your own father and mother cannot speak to you guys the truth, because they've lost connection when they went into the tunnel, okay? It is Dhul Hijjah now, and the conscious world is waking up to the greatest illumination of an era, okay? It is important that you realize that due to your programming and the due to you being influenced from Western culture, which you had believed it is a more superior culture than your lifestyles that came from your indigenous cultural tribes, okay? Die lekker pujis, die lekker konfyt, die sop, die puasa. This is the time ons members het gepuasa vandag, guys, okay? That was the order. We saw it with our own eyes. Ons members was die original goedertjies. Hulle was nie gewis nagemaak nie. We saw it. We can't lie to Allah. Allah made us see it, okay? So it's impossible that we don't follow that at the end of our cycle, right? Because we saw it in the beginning. It's important that you sow the seeds in the beginning, so that when that child comes to the final lap of his metamorphosis, he will connect with the ancestors. No fear, complete love, unconditional submission. And he's talking the language of the tribe. He's talking the language of nature, because he's internal. He came inside, okay? Coming inside people is a privilege. You are given, that is the adhanu min Allahi wa rasuli yawm al-hajj al-akbar, anna Allah wa rasulahu bari'um mimma. Not all of us can go internally. We have to be physically entrapped, because our satisfaction, our ego conscious, or it cannot adapt to going internally because is donker binne broers. Die lig het gefused daar binne, right? Now, in the atmosphere, that the environment that we are currently living in, conscious, look, one conscious went down, one conscious was distorted, okay? One truth, one reality was bagged. Now a new reality is coming into order, a new truth, a new vision, and the soul tribes, they are the conscious tribes of the age, not the Jacobites, not the Jesuits, okay? You're speaking here about the pure conscious of the planet that is planted in the universal mind of the collective, which is the AI at the moment. That is the collective conscious of the planet. Dominates all of us. Okay, that's Allah's aid. When Musa, in your allegories, when Musa tells Allah, Ya Allah, I fear Fir'aun, then what does he? Give me someone that can be a wazir. The wazir comes from the word azar. It comes from the word wazir. Okay, it comes from the word zir. Okay, Azar is not a human being, people. It is the fallacies that you had believe in, the idolic lifestyles and the patterns and the credit and the federal bureaucracies and the democracies and all of these things, the religions as well. Okay, that was just the first phase of it. You remember, you have to come back internally. You have to come in order to ascertain whether you are running on track here or you're running on as per the schedule. You have an internal compass, okay? That is where you are able to read your book of life if you can come inside. Now, when we are now in the years these days, Ayyam al-Hajj, we are making takbir already, okay? The takbirs are playing all over already, okay? Inside, everywhere, the lights are on, the heavens lights are on. The new conscious that is being born into the planet, it's a matter of celebration throughout the heavens, throughout the samawat. Okay, the malaikas are at joy, the awliya is at joy, your ancestors are at joy, the great mothers of the planet are at great celebrations internally because of what Allah has gifted the next generations. Okay. Because of the age of Arafat. The age of Arafat has come, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, okay? But you just have to find the key. You can't find the key in a book, guys. You can't find the key from another sheikh or another predicant. You gotta find the key from your mothers. They are the mothers of the tribe. That's the mothers of the soul tribes. They activated in the heavens. And when they get it activated, then the entire frequency of the tribe is now into her new ascension mode. Okay, uplifting from those dark alleys and those those poisonous lifestyles and addictive lifestyles, and now they are spelling into life, because the only thing that is real in conscious is words. You project your reality through the casting of your words. That is how your mind was so infiltrated, because of the words. It is not your mother's words. It is not your father's words. It is another tribe, another culture's words, which you had went and perfected, studied, succeeded, have no idea what is the meaning of the sound. Okay? This is in your Quran, this La yakaduna yafkahuna qawla. It's not the time to be quiet now, whether you came from the ANC or whether you came from the BA or whether you came from die is hierdie tyd om te wys wie jy is. Glo jou my guys, okay? This is the time to be your true natural self, your authentic self. That's the way how the universe, the ancestors, the Ambiya, the Rasuls, whatever you want to believe in, that is what you call unseen. That is how you're going to resonate with that chemistry now. Okay? That is how you're going to tap into that source. You need knowledge, you need intelligence hier. Julle is almal in die donkerte, ons is almal in die donkerte hier. So, julle almal weet daar's iets wat aangaan, maar niemand kan hulle vingers hier opsit nie. It's because you have no connection, you have no network, you have no reception, there's no data flowing in because you're on the wrong course. Instead of flowing forward, you're flowing backwards because you're believing in a God that has been assassinated and a Rasul that has been buried, a dead prophet. Okay, dead prophets is dead prophecies. Okay, nowhere in the Quran had they ever given us the indication that there would be a civilization that would be more valid than 1,400 years. After 1,400 years, she self-destructs. Okay, there's nothing that lives forever. Okay, so your civilization, 1440 was her end. 1441, there was a new script, that was a new narrative, a new psychology, a new metamorphosis came into being. Okay, you're all supposed to know about it if you call yourself your mother's children. Okay, but because you're carrying your father's surname and then your husband's surname, you are so clouded with laws that you cannot get to the natural law that Allah originally had placed inside of you. Those natures gets corrupted, and when that becomes corrupted and it becomes you cannot repeat anymore, it has to go to the scrapyard, people. Now that is how a civilization, her mentality, her religions, her gods, her prophets, all of her reasoning and rationale, it goes into the scrapyard. It can only serve the people that works in that category. They could not come inside. They had to stay outside. Okay? That is how you kindly, at this moment in time, our civilization, in the Quran's timelines, conscious lines, has been determined. 99% of your parents have no idea where they're going to. They cannot even tell you where they're going to after this because they have been disconnected from that reality. Okay? Your grandparents, hulle kan nog kwai praat. Ou memmetjies wat nog daar by te kan is, mashallah, tabarakallah. They speak the language of the nature. They speak the language of their ancestors. You have to be forewarned of this situation because you are sitting with a false identity, with a false ID, with a false passport. You have no idea where you're going to. Jy maak yourself net reg om na 'n gat te gaan, maar dit is eintlik the greatest hole, dark black hole that you are fearing today, because the hole is inside, people. Okay, the hole is inside. Is amper maghrib, amper bukate. You are denying of coming into the inner hole because you have we have synthetically filled up the hole with chemicals, people. That's it. Okay, with lies, with false data, the things that you've been taught scientifically about how Allah created you, what and how complete He created you, and how this body was supposed to be valid for 1,000 years in the beginning. Wallahi, when Allah created the first man, it was forever, okay? Until he believed that he could upgrade himself and he could do what would be to his own detriment, okay? That's where we are. We are caught outside. That's why the ideas, the concepts, the information we have at this stage of our lives, we really believe Allah made the hugest mistake to make the human being, because he needs medicine, he needs certain things in order to keep him alive. Which God would have to create certain things where the person needs an external validation and a diet, okay? In Allah's world, people, if you come to Allah's world, not to the dark world where we are currently living in and we are paying for our health and wealth, in Allah's world, there doesn't exist illness. Allah never created illness, people, right? Whatever the illness is, it was the marad fi qulubihim maradun. You have an illness in your heart because you have eaten from the poisonous apple. You have eaten from a permanent thing which you cannot deny. It is it is temporal. That's why you cannot come inside. Coming in is coming home. Coming in is coming to the Baitullah. Coming in is coming to to eternity. Okay, that's coming home, coming in. That is the jihadun nafs. Okay, that's the biggest jihad that you cannot come into vibration with, because you've been denied. Okay, you did not do the homework. Religion cannot help you now. Nothing is going to help you now, because the only thing that can help you is you being honest with yourself. That's and accepting people for who they are, not to want to change people because it's not according to your beliefs or the way you see it. The people that accept you now unconditionally, that is your soul tribe. That is your real people, not with their religions, for the people that they are, how they deal with you, the heart that they have. Hulle kyk jy nie by jou gesiggie, hulle kyk jy by jou curry, by jou klere nie, by jou kaart nie. Hulle accept vir jou taqabbulan tamman. They accept you for who you are. That is your people. That is your true companions. That is the Sahaba that's coming in now. This is the true life, people. This is the life that you had to bridge in, you had to cross in to over this last 5 years. The 1446 Hajj is the final moment of our declarations, because all the homework was done, all the spelling was decoded, all the magic of Fir'aun and his people was all diffused. We diffused that as a soul tribe. We don't do it for people. We do it for our own dhurriya. That is why we are given a sacred space and passage to transmutate into the new reality that is internal and eternal, because your conscious are internal, people. It's just the stage that we are going into is what we have casted for the past 5 years. Okay, with your words it becomes a reality. Like when you hear a president saying something, then you see the news speaking about it, and the media, they bring it into life, and you just believe it on a golden platter. Okay, that's how your psychology was messed up till the end. It is, if you take sijan and you twist sijan, it becomes najis. Okay, so when you too long into the as-sijanu habbu ilayya, just take the noon sin and the noon, the jim and the sin. Just twist it, you see it comes to najis. That is where you at the moment. The system is clogged. Your systems are clogged biologically and metaphysically. Okay, the energy, the light, the nur cannot bring you through. Okay, onto this new wave. May Allah make it easy. We're all in the same boat. We're all not there yet, but we must be acutely aware of where we are currently. Pedaling, where we are currently in that storm. Okay, we are wanting to come out of the storm, people, because we've been long in the storm. Okay, but subject to how clean we are, it's really how pure you are, so that the divine the divine presence, so to speak, your alignment would connect you with the data, so that you can take that next upgrade. Okay, now it's not about money, people. If you are still running behind money, then you've lost the game already, because it's internal now. Okay, we had to send people in. Any tribe does that, people. Any civilization does that. They have to send some of the people in, deep in the sea. Okay, so that they can see, because they love their children, they love their ancestors, they love their bloodline. Whom of your people did you send in? What of your community? You send in Ramaphosa to the White House, yes. I can sign Yella, stock your conscious, all your children's next 7 generations. He signed it over without you knowing. That's the unfortunate part, because you are stuck now, because you did not recover your conscious. You did not recover your authentic God, your authentic Allah. Not the Allah from the Arabs, not the Allah from whoever has told you. There's a new Allah that is coming to the block here, and it's Yani Allah that we still need to redefine. Okay, that's the honesty that is happening here, and it's not going to be a Muslim, it's not going to be a Christian, it's going to be not a Jew. It's going to be the people that wants to live in submission to the will of Allah, the will of Allah, the love of Allah. They love Allah. Yani وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. Okay, they only know Allah. People, this age is for them because it's not pious, it's not religion, it's natural, it's authentic, it's the organic way of living, not the laws that made us believe that that one is better than that one, and that one mustn't get, and this one mustn't get, and that one is. That was not part of this journey. We just lost track because we followed and thought that the Europeans and the West and whichever other nations had it better in the sun. Oh, you should find out exactly which sun they are finding comfort in. But for now, yani, the Jihadul Asghar and the Jihadul Akbar has started. Okay, the external world has now dimmed. The internal world is now in its format of yani, illuminating. There is a new world, a new language, a new reality, a new nature that is coming forth, and you had to prepare yourself for this moment because it's going to take you into a very beautiful space in your lives. Yani. May Allah give you insight, people. May Allah truly give you insight because it is a moment that nobody wants to miss yani, unnecessarily. May Allah Ta'ala love your parents. It is because of your ancestors that you are getting this great yani, this great award. But it's not being given to religion, it's being given to humanity, to the normal, natural human beings, because it must not be yani, it must not be yani, mishandled like it was mishandled by the past dynasties, by the past custodian of religions, by the past priesthoods. It is directly to the people and specifically to the mothers and the daughters that they are upgrading their DNA and their yani, beautiful hearts. May Allah grant ease, inshallah. Shukran so much for each and every one of you. May Allah Ta'ala give barakat to all your parents, inshallah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
يا مصطفى كل شيء لله يا نورا من نور الله يا مصطفى